It's a difficult transition from boyhood to manhood, made even harder in today's world. Society seems to have forgotten the definition of manhood. There are no more rites of passage for boys, skewed gender definitions, and a lack of strong father figures. Our world has made them and us soft, but it's getting harder and harder out there. We have to prepare ourselves and our boys for the hard times ahead. This transition is never a pretty journey, and for nearly every man, it's inescapable. You will suffer. And while every human experiences different forms of pain, mentally, physically, or even the pain of those that depend on them, it is men that will have to suffer through this pain in silence. One of the hardest pills to swallow is that crying or seeking pity is only to be reserved when alone or with close male friends. Openly doing so will be considered weak by your male competition and unattractive by women. A man must learn to endure and face difficulties alone. This will build that stoicism and create you into the rock that people look up to and hide behind when faced with dire circumstances. You must take risks. Life is about taking risks, understanding where your boundaries lie and pushing those boundaries. In our soft world, we are told to play it safe. But more and more men are waking up to the fact that playing it safe and being average is resulting in a depressing life. Taking safe choices will only result in slavery in one form or another. Therefore, you must be willing to risk it all. The sooner you do that, the less you'll have to lose. Because you will fail, and most likely more than once. But with each failure, you will learn and adapt until you start achieving success. Then you'll realize that it is within your personal power to create the life you want. This will make you independent and confident in the knowledge that whatever life throws at you, you will adapt and overcome. Take ownership of everything in your world. Shifting blame and making excuses is not an option. Life can be incredibly unfair at times. And while it's good to have ways of releasing life's stress, endlessly complaining will only result in wasting time. Take responsibility, but don't blame yourself forever either. Look at what you could have done better and apply it next try. Don't forget to remind yourself of some of the feats you've accomplished. In the midst of the storm, it can be helpful to remind ourselves what badass things we've accomplished. The journey will ultimately reach a point where the transition is complete. You will look back and realize that amidst the struggle, it's one of the most beautiful things a man will ever experience. And even when the transition is complete, a man must always be willing to improve himself and his skills. You must be humble enough to realize that you can always do better, because truly, the journey never ends.